welcome everybody. This is a historic event, and I'm not exaggerating because, as far as I understand it, Gloria stands to be the very first undocumented person to receive a PhD in the 125-year history of this institution.
I don't think it's hit me just yet that I finished. I mean, I know the fact that I don't have the work to do anymore because I finished all the edits to my dissertation, but I think just the title itself doesn't feel real just yet. The times back then were a little different, at least. The topic of being undocumented wasn't discussed as widely as it is now, but I think even now the the portrayals of undocumented individuals as lawbreakers and illegal adds takes away the humanity of people. So I think there's definitely a chance, or there's definitely that aspect of maybe people feeling either ashamed or afraid because of that, but it's all because it's within the context of a very conservative and very fear-producing rhetoric. Well, there had been several times that I had given speeches as a high school grad after I had graduated from high school and had gone into Harvard. But with people I knew, the first time I came out as undocumented was when I was in a master's class of immigration and education. And there were a lot of misconceptions being thrown around about what undocumented students could and could not do. So I remember raising my hand and just disclosing myself and saying, you all know me, we've been together in class for a few weeks, I'm undocumented, I graduated from Harvard College, I'm here at the Harvard Grad School of Education now, and I have a teaching credential, and these are all the things that, have been part of my experience. So I think not only was that the first time that I broke out of that fear of having people that I knew and saw on a regular basis see me or acknowledge the fact that I was undocumented in front of them, but I think that's when I started seeing that I could have a purpose, or I can purposely make a difference with the people around me. So Latino Health Access does a lot of work, and I think as a response to the fear in the community that happened in the transition to this new administration, national administration, Latino Health Access has taken this topic of immigration, helping individuals find some type or any type of immigration relief that they qualify for. Sometimes it's not necessarily immigration relief, but certain benefits that California gives, like driver's licenses and access to the California Dream Act for students and all of that. But I think more than anything, just being an employee has provided some a sort of legitimacy almost of having an agency where I can conduct work. Not that I didn't have it before, because I've been doing community work since I graduated from college regardless, but I think in this sense it allows me to do it in a much more concrete way. So where we were back when I graduated from high school was we were at the brink of making this issue a college access issue for the undergraduate population. Since then, there's been a lot of state legislation that has opened access for undocumented students to attend bachelor's programs. But that conversation hasn't translated into graduate school. So we're at that point right now where a lot of us have now finished our bachelor's and are waiting to go into the next step. But there's a lot less knowledge among those institutions as to how to open access and how to support students there. So anyone who's right now undocumented and trying to go to graduate school is sort of the pioneer. Whereas maybe they attend a campus, especially here in California, where they might be one of maybe a dozen, maybe 10, or maybe more, maybe 30, 40 or more in the state schools in California. They might be the only one in their program in graduate school. So it's a very lonely road in terms of that, but nevertheless, it's a unique opportunity for all of us to continue expanding the sort of the pathways for other students. So it will take a lot of advocacy, a lot of raising awareness among faculty, among administrators, a lot of negotiating with them in terms of financial aid, in terms of the possibility of bringing in additional students, but all of that is extremely important. I think it's a privilege for us to sort of be the pioneers of this work and at such a level right now. As a sophomore in college, I brought writer Josefina Lopez to visit my high school, Santa Ana High School, and she knew that I had gone to Harvard, and she gave me the advice of don't let Harvard be the greatest thing you do. And at that point, I didn't know how to make that come true, especially because I was undocumented and I had a lot of limitations in terms of employment. But I think going forward, that for me translated into keeping the door open for a lot more students. So I think more than anything, I continued going at every step of the way, just knowing that with me going through the entire pipeline, there was a possibility that other students, would have that opportunity, because universities would have that experience with admitting and supporting undocumented students. And for me, that's crucial. I think the most important work that I can do, because everything has aligned and I've had the support of so many people, is continuing to keep those gates open for other people as well. I think this is a unique time for a lot of the universities to really engage the undocumented population in their schools, to ensure that whenever these groups that are on campus now go through and graduate, that there's still the door open for a lot more. And I think there's a lot of talent within the undocumented student population, and we're all eager to help the university. So I think this is a time when universities can really take leadership on this issue, and as well as other undocumented students. And I think our primary role as undocumented students is to not stop dreaming, and to, no matter what, continue to pursue those dreams.